Welcome to the RCDE Stadium. It's round 26 of La Liga Santander, and the round kicks off with Espanyol against Real Madrid in Cornellà, just outside Barcelona. I was going to say a very warm welcome, but I can't do that to you because it is freezing in Barcelona and surrounding areas at the moment, as it is most of Spain, with this Siberian front coming in. Graham Hunter, is that going to affect the Budgies as they try to take something positive from this game, something which traditionally they find very, very hard to do?
It's hugely exciting. There is no need for a sales pitch on a game where Zidane has done all of us a huge favour. You'll read the team out. There's no question that the 11 he's put out is capable of winning, continuing that run both domestically in La Liga and against Espanyol in general. But the way in which he's left certain players out with a view to bigger tests coming in the near future renders this a cup tie. It's a cold midweek night. All the Real Madrid players need to be completely up for it against a side who are struggling, haven't won in 7, but who notably beat Atleti, beat Barcelona, okay, in 2 different competitions. That's why I say it's a cup tie. If Real Madrid's 11 that Zidane has chosen aren't fully committed, fully up for this, if they don't boss the game from the start, we've got a good old-fashioned cup tie on our hands, and all the more entertaining for that.
Well, we'll just confirm the lineups in a few moments' time, but as Graham says, plenty of changes have been made, as many as 5 changes made by Zinedine Zidane with regards to the side that beat Alaves comfortably 4-0 in the Bernabeu at the weekend. For Espanyol, probably just about their strongest possible 11 at the moment. One of the main changes, that man just being hidden on your screens there, now visible again, Sergio Garcia back in the starting lineup. He's chatting with Carlos La Roca Sanchez. And of course, another interesting fact, the keeper in green, Diego Lopez, former Real Madrid man, in between the sticks tonight for the Budgies.
And as the guy you're talking about goes over to greet Sergio Ramos, the reason for that is not the 6-1 defeat that Sergio Garcia inflicted on Sergio Ramos and Zidane and Real Madrid in the Copa in 2005. It's the fact that the two Sergios shared the red jersey of Spain in the Eurocopa, the European Championship of 2008, and won the thing. Friendship lasts.
It certainly does in football, as the players are led out by tonight's referee Jose Maria Sanchez, and plenty of atmosphere in the RCD Stadium, despite the fact that the cold has perhaps convinced 1 or 2 of the fainter-hearted fans to watch this one from home. A midweek clash, the first of the midweek round of matches, round 26 in La Liga Santander. The Real Madrid players, led by Ramos, back in the side from suspension, as you mentioned, Graham, greeting the match officials and their rivals tonight, led by Victor Sanchez, Espanyol captain. Here is the 11 selected by Quique Sanchez Flores. As we mentioned, Diego Lopez in goal, Aaron Duarte, David Lopez and Marc Navarro at the back, Victor Sanchez and Carlos Sanchez in the engine room, Sergi Darder playing on the right of midfield, Pablo Piatti, the pacey Argentinian, on the left, and up front Sergio Garcia, Gerard Moreno. On the bench, Paul Lopez, Naldo, Jurado, Leo Baptistao, Didac Villa, Marc Roca and Esteban Granero. And as we mentioned, Baptistao dropped in favour of Sergio Garcia for this one. The referee, Jose Maria Sanchez, tossing the coin. The 2 captains, Victor Sanchez and Sergio Ramos, preparing to take the official match photo. This one will be getting underway in just a moment. First, we'll bring you the Real Madrid lineup, and here are these 5 changes we talked about. No change in goal. It's Keylor Navas. Achraf Hakimi comes in at right back. Rafa Varane and Sergio Garcia in central defence, with Nacho moving to left back. Marcos Llorente and Mateo Kovacic playing in front of the back 4, with Lucas Vazquez on the right, Marco Asensio on the left, and Isco playing in behind lone striker Gareth Bale. On the bench, Kiko Casilla, Carvajal, Benzema, Teo Hernandez, Borja Mayoral, Dani Ceballos, and Oscar. Seems there's still no place in the 11 for Dani Ceballos. Are you surprised?
There's been sufficient changes made that it's clear Zidane believes that he's got the right midfield. Does he ultimately trust Dani Ceballos yet, despite the guy's evident talent? Maybe not, and what's more, it's clear that in front of him come players like Asensio, Isco, Casemiro, Kovacic, and even though Modric and Kroos are absent, the queue is still long, which is why Ceballos wanted to go back to Betis on loan if rules would have allowed it.
Well, Kovacic has been very impressive of late, getting into the starting lineup of the last two Real Madrid matches. Here he is with his first touch of the ball, which he plays square to Ramos. Nacho, under some pressure from Sergi Darder, returns it to his skipper, Kovacic again. This is Rafael Varane. And now the young Moroccan, Achraf Hakimi. Ball returned to him by Llorente. Varane sending it long, chested down by Gareth Bale, collected by Oscar Duarte. The interception there by Achraf. Played wide to Nacho. With all due respect to Nacho, who is a brilliant comodine, as they say, the man who can fit in anywhere in the defence. Is not quite the same as having Marcelo there.
It isn't, and it tells us a little story. This is a La Liga game. This is the one we're concentrated on. But the fact that Theo has been rested already signifies that Zidane doesn't expect Marcelo to make it for the Paris Saint-Germain leg, and that's why Theo's been protected.
Ramos looking for Nacho. Wasn't the greatest ball. Pressure put on Nacho by Sergi Darder. And in the end, the whistle goes for a foul. Nacho not too happy with the challenge by Darder.
Darder had a little nibble at him right on the touchline in front of the fans. Watch, you'll see it here when he's down. Little bit more, little chink, just to see if the fans will get warmed up, just to see if Nacho does or doesn't like it. Darder is a super footballer, but that's a bit streetwise.
Yeah, I think there's no question of the reaction from Nacho Fernandez. He didn't like it.
He did not. I said cup tie. Got a little bit of a cup tie feel already.
Ramos plays it back to Keylor Navas. The two front men for Espanyol hanging back there, not pressuring the Costa Rican keeper. Ball kept in play there by Pablo Piatti. It's played back to Duarte. Lopez gives his namesake, Diego Lopez, the keeper, his first touch. Lopez, of course, who was first choice keeper for Real Madrid for a couple of seasons. Brilliantly saved a penalty from Lucas Perez, I beg your pardon, the other day in Riazor.
Brought back by Jose Mourinho, and when Capello was in charge, he actively wanted to sell Iker Casillas and promote Diego Lopez. To have those names on your CV, Simon, tells you a lot.
Well, he was started the season as number 2 to Pau Lopez. He's definitely number 1 now. That one floated towards Gareth Bale. Oscar Duarte clears the danger.
We've seen already, haven't we, that whether it's Lucas pushing forward on the right or Isco helping out Asensio and Bale, Zidane wants him to play a front three.
Ramos picks out Nacho. There's Asensio. Now Isco. Ramos. Varane to Achraf. Oh, he's played himself into trouble. Piatti it was who took the ball off him. It's played back to Oscar Duarte. And Diego Lopez once more. Bale goes in to have a look. Not the greatest clearance, straight to the feet of Kovacic. Kovacic linking with Isco. Did well to hold on to possession there. Nacho trying a quick return ball. Blocked for a throw-in by Sergi Darder.
You mentioned Achraf and Piatti. I love that gamble most of all. Achraf lost confidence in the cup. Piatti is a dangerous, quick winger. That's a real gem of a battle for us tonight.
Nacho with the throw. Asensio battling. Darder helping out Mark Navarro. It's played back to David Lopez. Lopez switching to the left flank where Aaron has a bit of space there. This is Piatti. Roca Sanchez. Navarro. Back to Sergi Darder. Sanchez again. Just flicked on by Gerard Moreno to Marc Navarro, loses out. Kovacic turning away from and losing the ball. And Ramos forced to react quickly. And Keylor Navas playing the ball out to Nacho. That was disappointing from Kovacic. Asensio. Darder nearly taking it off him. It's collected though by Llorente, who felt a bit of a nibble at his ankles there. Ashraf to Lucas, lovely turn from Lucas Vázquez. There's Asensio, who was aware of the arrival down the left wing of Nacho. His back heeler didn't quite go where Nacho needed it. Here's Kovacic, easily gets away from Moreno. Now Isco, back to Kovacic. Quick return ball from Asensio. Isco over the top looking for Lucas. If he can get the cross in, Gareth Bale is waiting. The cross takes a deflection, goes onto the roof of the net. First corner of the game for Real Madrid.
We're looking at their informed man. Everybody will want to talk about Cristiano, Asensio. This guy here, Lucas, who puts the ball over, looking for Bale. We're looking at the replay as Sergio Garcia tries to put Ramos under pressure.
It's headed clear by Gerard Moreno, only as far as Ashraf. Neat footwork from the young Moroccan. Intelligent ball as well. Lucas chips it over. Roca Sanchez with the header, and it's cleared by Sergio Garcia, only as far as Llorente. Madrid to start again via Asensio. Plays it wide to Isco on the overlap. Ashraf's measured cross. It's a brilliant header from Bale and an even better point-blank stop from Diego Lopez.
Ashraf gets a little bit lucky with the deflection. As you look at the ball coming across here, there's a slight flick on, and Bale, if Bale arrives with a little bit more power, then Diego doesn't have the reaction time.
First warning from Real Madrid and Gareth Bale. He'll be disappointed as well with the header. I think because of that deflection, he was kind of
maybe it changes because he does try to glance it rather than put his full forehead on it, and that could have been the factor. Easily could have been the factor. The touch from Duarte was important.
Serious look on the face of Quique Sanchez Flores. And Diego Lopez clasping that one as if his very life depended on it.
You always like to do well against your alma mater. It was actually in Real Madrid C where he started off.
Sergio Ramos being harried there all the way by Piatti. Plays it back to Keylor Navas. Llorente. Well, he was in trouble there, and he picked up a little knock, and the referee's given a free kick, I think, for the challenge by Gerard Moreno. Llorente has a look over in the direction of the Espanyol striker. Zinedine Zidane. 30 goals his Real Madrid have scored in the last 7 games, and to put that into context, in the first 18 they only scored 32. So we're starting to see Real Madrid at their very top level at just about the perfect time in the season. Not so much for La Liga, but in terms of maybe bigger prizes or other prizes they might be keeping their eye on.
Right now you'd be hard pressed to find a Real Madrid man who's out of form.
Asensio combining with Lucas. This is Isco. Little path cleared open for him there. Asensio to Lucas. These three in particular are so at ease on the ball. Still Isco. Ashraf Hakimi taken off his toes by Asensio. Isco, little flick down the wing. Asensio gets away from his man, gets into the area, can't quite keep the ball on the playing surface in time to cut back the cross into the area where there were black shirts waiting, but that's a sign of Asensio's confidence, even if he didn't quite pull it off.
It is true, but it's also a sign that he and Isco play five-a-side football. In fact, it's as if they're playing two-a-side football in a phone booth. They literally could keep hold of this football against six opponents in a small, old-fashioned phone booth. They're so skilled.
Here's Nacho. Straight to David Lopez. Now Duarte. Can't see any possible forward pass. It's picked up by Sergi Darder, who drops down a bit. Moreno dispossessed by Llorente, and that'll be a throw-in to Real Madrid.
It's not the key element of the game, but Llorente was such a hit for Alaves on loan last season that people thought he would take Casemiro's place.
Oh, Bale with pace and strength there. It's a poor cross, though, and it was dealt with by Oscar Duarte, and now the ball carried away by Carlos Sanchez. Just the final product missing there for Gareth Bale, really.
Pressure on him, Simon, though. No Benzema, who's on the bench. Ronaldo rested of the BBC. He's carrying the weight up front. His header was at least on target, forced a save for his standard off his left foot. That was a very poor cross.
Varane, Llorente, now Ashraf. Llorente again, square to Sergio Ramos. Ramos to Nacho. Asensio dropping back. Returns it to his skipper. Llorente to Lucas Vázquez. Varane. Nacho. Intercepted by Lopez. Sanchez gets away from Isco. Supported by Moreno. Darder back to Mark Navarro. It's good pressing from Madrid in midfield. Carlos Sanchez. Looking for Navarro. There's a suggestion maybe that caught the arm. He goes down under the pressure of Nacho. The referee feels nothing untoward occurred, and it'll be a goal kick.
He doesn't do well here because the ball is perfect for him to anticipate it, run onto it and leave Nacho behind. And I'll bet you Carlos Sanchez can't believe his luck, making his debut against Real Madrid for Espanyol in a moment where there's no Cruz, no Modric and no Casemiro particularly, and that gives him passing time.
Isco taking the ball off Victor Sanchez, collected by Lucas. Now Isco again. Supported here by Ashraf. Gets away from the first challenge. Isco looking for a quick return pass. Didn't connect with the young Moroccan. Who then battles and wins a corner.
Very good. Very good. He's given a bad pass. Rare we say that about Isco, but it wasn't the right option. And then he works and wins the ball back. And we saw you and I in the rain before the match. Dozens of Moroccan fans with Moroccan flags asking for his shirt. Here to enjoy his performance.
Corner number 2 for Real Madrid. It's played out short, whipped in again. Roque Sanchez with a headed clearance. One straight back by Ashraf. Who did well. Asensio to Isco. There's danger here. The cross takes a deflection, and Diego Lopez on the wrong foot, forced to turn back mid-leap and palm that one over the bar for a corner.
Kudos to the training ground Madrid moves, because they've obviously
Diego Lopez. I won't be too surprised. He knows what Real Madrid are capable of. In comes the corner. Ramos was up for it, and that was inches away. The header in the end coming, I think, off Ashraf. Collected here by Sergio Garcia. Can he create anything here? Well, he finds Piatti. Piatti with the return ball. It's well defended by Llorente. Sergi Darder there to keep the attack going. Now Aaron. Low cross. It goes through to Moreno. Just unable to link with Pablo Piatti in the area. And Madrid quick to play the ball out. One back again by Darder, but the whistle's gone for a foul on Ashraf.
Simon, what is wrong with Gareth Bale? He's the only one in this pitch who comes from a true cup culture. The Copa del Rey here is big, but he grew up watching and then playing in the FA Cup. He knows what the atmosphere tonight is going to be like. He knows you can't go to sleep, and he was sound asleep when he was robbed of that ball, not even thinking about whether somebody was behind him.
Ramos playing the ball out for Real Madrid. He looks for and finds Kovacic. Nacho returning the ball to the Astro Kraut. There's Lucas. Lucas over the top, finding Isco. Lovely control from Isco. Outside him to the left, Nacho. Nacho's cross. Picked up here by Asensio. Looks to return it. It comes off David Lopez. It'll be another corner for Real Madrid.
They're sharp up front, Real Madrid, but you notice in the play, it's a balanced game.
Asensio. Cross is blocked by Pablo Piatti. Isco battling for it. Very nearly one back in the area by Asensio. Nacho in the end penalised for that challenge on Sergio Garcia.
Crowd loving it. Those who've braved the elements, it really is, as you say, absolutely freezing. Not snow, but sleet. Very horrible conditions for goalkeepers, which means all the more kudos to Diego Lopez for his handling tonight. Garcia brought down, clear foul. Sanchez Martinez in exactly the right place.
Lopez intercepted immediately by Llorente. The ball falling to Navarro. He plays it back to David Lopez. Duarte to Victor Sanchez. The Espanyol captain returning it to Oscar Duarte. Here's Sergi Darder. It's an interesting ball collected by Sergio Garcia, and Varane holding his own and holding his ground. Throw in to Espanyol. Navarro wants to take it quickly but can't see an option, forced to wait. Needed some movement. He got it from Sergio Garcia. In the end, he did very well indeed to find Piatti. Piatti to Aaron, whose cross is a good one. It's greeted by Pablo Piatti. Very awkward one on the volley, coming over his left shoulder. He managed to connect to it, but failed to hit the target. Again, that one seemed to take a deflection.
Well-travelled player, Piatti. There was a time when he looked to be part of this amazing generation of forwards from Argentina who could beat anybody on the day. His day comes too irregularly, but he can threaten. He's technical and quick.
Sanchez won that one in the air. The ball falling to the feet of Achraf Hakimi. Llorente, Kovacic, Ramos, Asensio back to Ramos, Isco, and Sanchez quickly through the back of him. And Nacho can't see any alternative but to play it back to Keylor Navas from just inside his own half. Kovacic dropping deep to collect that. Varane to Achraf Hakimi. Llorente, first time from Asensio, back to Varane. Again, a weak pass from Ramos, and a little bit annoyed at himself, Sergi Darder, that he couldn't make a better job of stealing that, really. Lovely control from Marco Asensio. Being harried there by Oscar Duarte. It's not a good end product either. It's one back, however, by Kovacic. Gets the return ball from Lucas. Oh, lovely turn from Lucas. Leaves it back to Isco. And in the end, he's dispossessed by Gerard Moreno. And right in front of the referee, Nacho catching Gerard Moreno and the referee having a little word in his ear.
Yeah, a free kick. But look how hard in several positions the black shirted Real Madrid have fought for possession. There were 3 different footballers fighting to get that ball back, just as we saw Ashraf in the far right-hand corner, making sure that the bad ball to Isco didn't lose possession. The mentality's right in the reigning champions.
Ramos got underneath that one a little bit. Gareth Bale managed to win it, but puts it straight out of touch for a throw-in to the home side. I
talk about mentality, but of course nobody in this side wants to be the first to lose to Espanyol in Barcelona since 2007, when the coach was Ernesto Valverde.
Kovacic finds Rafa Varane. Varane striding forward, and that's a very intelligent ball indeed. Ashraf's cross is poor though, and Allen able to block with ease. It is, however, another corner for Real Madrid. Isco goes across to take it. 5 corners already. Roca Sanchez trying to stick with Bale, who makes a run to the near post. It's headed clear in the end by David Lopez. Lucas failing to hold on. It's won back by Asensio. And the ball going through into the hands of Diego Lopez.
I don't like the hierarchy there at all, Simon. When there's a corner and Lucas Vazquez is on the pitch, we know he should be taking it. The evidence down at Betis, when he crossed for Sergio Ramos' brilliant headed goal, he's the best crosser in the club, should be taking the set play instead of Isco.
Asensio with a cross, nobody there except Aaron. And Aaron sends it down the line. Almost collected by Gerard. As the RCDE Stadium applauds in memory of their captain, Danny Jarque.
That's nice to see that the away team understand what it means and honour, well, a captain and a huge loss to Spanish football.
Yeah, well said. Every 21st minute here in the RCDE Stadium, and for the travelling fans away from Barcelona, when Espanyol are on the road, it's always a minute where Danny Jarque is remembered. Is Nacho. Kovacic. Llorente. Varane. Lucas. Isco. Well, he forced Ashraf to come back inside. And Ashraf showing determination, finds Asensio. Asensio had the pass to Nacho. Nacho cannot believe that pass didn't come. A chance perhaps on the break for Espanyol. And Sergio Garcia, you mentioned him getting bullied. That is a definition of what getting bullied means.
He's going to come out of this game bruised and battered. He's always been able to take his knocks. Just a lovely footballer to watch, so intelligent, full of technique. And although he's only beaten Real Madrid once in 21 goals, he's one of the main threats tonight.
Navarro back to David Lopez. Square to Duarte. Lopez again. Navarro preferring to play it back to his keeper.
The surprise in your voice, though, I have to echo, when Asensio, on absolute the best form of his career, didn't see that overlap. Your voice told the story. That was a great lapse and a big goal opportunity.
Not the greatest clearance from Diego Lopez. It's collected by Ramos. Couldn't quite bring the ball down. It falls, however, to Marco Asensio. Now Llorente. Kovacic. Ashraf Hakimi. It's Lucas. Isco, I should say. Kovacic. Felt a couple of nips from behind by Victor Sanchez there, showing his strength. He fails to link up with Asensio, however. Here's Roca Sanchez. Lopez. Advantage Ramos. Directly into touch. Throw into Espanyol.
Sloppy again.
Yeah.
Big chance for the captain to give that ball back to Asensio. Build the attack again. There have been moments, definitely from Bale, from Ramos, which suggest that they maybe mentally have only 80% of their brain involved in this game.
This one falls to Isco, however. Kovacic, first time to Lucas. Lucas trying to get away from the attentions of Piatti, of all people. Here's Asensio. Neat little ball in for Isco. What can they create here? Asensio. Nacho back to Asensio. Spots Lucas, who tries to look one way, pass the other way, pass it. Bounce back to him. Plays himself into trouble, though. Moreno trying to play it out. Roca Sanchez through the middle. It's 2 against 1 here, but one of them is Rafael Varane.
Very sharp. Very sharp indeed. Not only is Gerrard not as fast as the French defender, he's played 25 out of 25 games, every single minute.
Oh, that's given away. Chance here for Moreno. I think that came off the keeper.
I thought it was a save. Gerrard will obviously claim it. I'm with you. I thought Keylor's right foot diverted that wide. Let's see. He certainly closed the angle. So whether this is a corner or not, the Costa Rican does his housework absolutely perfectly. I still think there's a touch. There is a touch.
Yeah.
That's a save, and it's a great save.
It certainly is. Quick thinking from Carlos Roca Sanchez when Varane gifted it to him. Very unlike Rafa Varane, that. Here's Asensio. Gareth Bale. Back to Isco. Kovacic. Ramos. Isco to Llorente. Plenty of space for Ashraf. An intelligent run from Lucas. And he's pulled down. Pulled down quite clearly, I think, by Oscar Duarte. The linesman well placed to see it.
A little bit immature because the challenge was going to win the goal kick. It's away, and it's just, why can't he see that the ball's going to go out and Lucas isn't going to get there? If this ends in a goal, which is feasible with Ramos and Bale up there, then Quique Sanchez Flores will be irate at Duarte.
Isco to take it. Once again, Lucas Vázquez ignored and moves into the penalty area, just about on the penalty spot there. Varane's gone up too. Kovacic and Nacho, as well as Asensio, lurking on the edge of the box. Seems to be a fairly direct line to Asensio there. Isco floating one in. And Garcia gets it away. One back straight away by Asensio. A little bit of comedy of errors in the Espanyol area. Diego Lopez keeps the ball in play.
Well, I'm going to sing my song again. Should be Lucas. Should be Lucas. Isco's a fine player and will deliver assists for goals. Obviously he will, but Lucas's crossing ability from the dead ball area is better.
Oh, that's given away to Isco, collected by Gareth Bale. An unnecessary return ball, I think, to Kovacic. Bale with a very poor cross once again, and Lopez says thank you and clears. Only as far as Nacho. Can't see a way through. Plays it back to Llorente. Ramos. Well, I have to say, Graham, we're almost 30 minutes in. They're not quite as on the ball as we've seen recently, Real Madrid so far. Here's a chance on the break, Moreno. And that's a firm challenge by Hakimi. Play on, says the referee. Piatti goes down again, and this time gets the decision he wanted. He's furious with the referee.
In the first instance, the speed with which he jumps up and tries to win the ball and play on tells me that he was trying to buy a free kick the first time. In the second instance, there's no question whatsoever that it's an immature foul. The referee is probably within his rights to let that go, I'd say. What's the weather up there like? Says Piatti to Sanchez Martinez.
It's one of the shortest players in La Liga Santander, Pablo Piatti.
But then to give away this foul, albeit that it won't be a direct shot on goal, that's further evidence of slack thinking tonight.
And we saw another very weak attempted cross by Gareth Bale, didn't we?
I'm lost. He must know that his place in Paris is in jeopardy. This is the important game. These are the important 3 points tonight, but they are playing for higher prizes, including a start against Paris Saint-Germain. So far, you wouldn't bank on him being one of those who start.
In comes the free kick. It's won by Bale. Kovacic hooks it away. Sent back in. Collected, onside. And there's nobody there to finish off the cross from Lopez. Piatti's shot charged down. It comes to Roca Sanchez. And somehow put in the back of the net by Moreno. The flag was up. It was almost as though the whole of the 22 players were waiting for the flag to go up. Moreno, just in case, put the ball away.
I don't think there's going to be any doubt about this. By about half a body length. It's the right call from the linesman, but we've now seen twice. Give Gerrard, who's the leading scorer with 10 and 25, an opportunity, and Real Madrid can easily be in trouble tonight.
Ramos to his partner in central defence, Varane. Varane to Ashraf. It's the Frenchman once more. Llorente, first time to Kovacic, gets it back. Ashraf. There's Isco. The calls from the bench. Isco. Llorente following instructions. This time back to Ramos. Now Nacho. Gareth Bale. Ramos to Llorente. Llorente over the top. There's a chase for Lucas. The advantage was for Oscar Duarte. Lucas leaves it for Ashraf Hakimi to take. Isco. Well, we mentioned the absence of Marcelo at left back earlier, the absence of Dani Carvajal at right back. Two huge losses for Real Madrid's attacking
certainly
football.
And if you throw in Kroos and Modric, who are not known only for their defensive capabilities, and then you say that Cristiano Ronaldo, who's at what, 16 and 14, Benzema, who's returned to form, and as you say, creatively exceptional. There's a different personality to this side, but you would contend like me that there's enough talent out there to win it. As you look at the way in which Sanchez nods it back, Gerrard's awake, but Keylor is quicker still. Fabulous save. The loss of a corner is a shame for Espanyol's attacking efforts, and the fans will quote it if they lose this game. What a lovely piece of play by the striker and the keeper.
Lopez winning that aerial battle with Gareth Bale. It falls in the end for Ramos. Asensio forced back into his own half, holding on to it until brought down by Sergi Darder.
Zidane said about Keylor, didn't he, before this match? He said, I've got a world-class keeper who keeps proving his status and who everybody in my squad adores. Now, that isn't just his charming personality. That's the fact that he keeps rescuing this team and has done since he joined from Levante. Now, our director is suggesting that I got this wrong and that was even tighter. The linesman said offside. I thought he was right. The graphic suggests that in line, maybe Espanyol should be 1-0 up on the champions.
Well, certainly, Gerard Moreno was furious with the decision, of course. But it was a neat reception from that ball, driven in hard at him. He dealt with it brilliantly. Varane. Ashraf over the top. Lovely control from Isco, just plucking it out of the air. Holding on under pressure from Duarte, keeping the ball in play. Trying something that I don't think anybody on the pitch for Espanyol had seen before. It's not the greatest of balls to Nacho. One or two slightly unusual moments of laxity in this round.
When Zidane gets his team into the dressing room at halftime, he will say two things: do things better, do things quicker.
David Lopez on the ball. Quique Sanchez Flores looking on.
His dad won the title for Real Madrid. He won the title for Real Madrid. And his godfather coached Real Madrid, coached Espanyol, and was named Di Stefano.
Llorente finding Bale. Bale cutting it back to Isco. Isco to Llorente. And he drags the shot wide. Again, it's well defended by Espanyol because they're closing them down.
True that.
Making it difficult for the Madrid strikers to find a way through, a gap to goal, but again, it's like you say, just a little bit too slow.
And Llorente doesn't bear the task of goal scoring, but if you look at the pocket of space he's in there, he can and should put that on target. And you and I, throughout the season, have commented on the fact that we know from the training ground that every single training session there's a huge emphasis placed on shooting from outside the box. Llorente should have done better, and Zidane would have expected more from him there.
Piatti battling with Llorente and Varane, who came out on top. Here's Achraf Hakimi back to Varane. Ramos picks out Nacho. Nacho, there's one for Bale to chase. Keeps the ball in play. Gets it onto his left foot. Again, not a great cross.
Nothing to do with what Bale has as a trademark, that gifted left foot, and the question marks over him, which I often rail against, are legitimate tonight.
It's taken off Nacho by Gerard Moreno. Does very well indeed to find Piatti. This is better from Espanyol. Piatti's got his two front men to find. He can only find the returning Rafa Varane. Roca Sanchez. Now Lopez. Forced back by Kovacic. Sanchez again. Victor Sanchez. Piatti. Bit of a chase for Aaron. He's never going to get there.
That came to nothing, but it's interesting that with about 9 minutes to half-time, Quique Sanchez-Flores has asked his full-back, Martin Navas, to push up so that Darder can come in and give an extra man in the midfield. And therefore we're seeing, that's why our statisticians are saying Darder's on the ball more. You see him now far more centrally than when he started. That's Quique Sanchez-Flores saying, I want equality in midfield. Better still, if we can get it, I want superiority in midfield.
Navas with the goal kick, sending it deep. Bale up with Roca Sanchez. It's brilliantly brought down there by Gerard Moreno. Neat little touch back to Darder from Garcia. And a free kick right in the halfway line. And a yellow card for Gareth Bale. First yellow card of the evening. He just looked a little bit frustrated there, I felt. And
if I can
over to apologise to Darder.
Merited apology. If I can be allowed to speculate, which I think is informed speculation, here he is tonight, playing in a game where he's not one of the elite players who's been rested, and when Ronaldo and Benzema are absent, he's still not predominantly allowed to play on the left. If I am wrong, I see a pouted lip from the Welshman, and I don't approve.
Here's Aaron. Wins a corner. One of the big positives of this season for Espanyol, Aaron Caricol.
Oh, yeah. Born in Montmello, up where the Formula 1 circuit is being used today by Fernando Alonso to test. Born within sight of that F1 circuit.
And sound, I imagine.
Sight and sound, most certainly. About 30 minutes out of town.
Corner to Espanyol. Can they create anything here? That's well taken and well dealt with by Varane. Managed to find Isco. Closed down by Sergi Darder.
Now that must be a temptation, having booked Bale for a foul of that nature, to break up a move, tackling from behind. Sanchez Martinez must be, just as he chats to Isco, thinking, I wonder, should I have pulled a card out there? Was that worthy of a yellow? I think that Isco's making, very gently, a point that many referees, for pulling the leg from underneath Isco in the middle of a break, yellow card.
Yeah, the only defence would be that it's deep in the Madrid half, but that's clearly what Isco was saying to the match official. That's a good ball over the top. Advantage Diego Lopez. It's David Lopez playing the ball out for Espanyol. Little flick on by Moreno. Darder finding Sergio Garcia, and he can't make the pass pay. But light at the end of the tunnel for Espanyol here. They're starting to put a bit of pressure on Madrid's back four. Moreno whips the cross in. Advantage Varane. Darder miscues it. Play on, says the referee. The ball falling to Isco.
Yeah, twice now, Rafa Varane has anticipated where the space must be, and without knowing for sure that the ball is going to come his way, has closed the gap and twice cut off Espanyol attacks. There's no way that's a penalty.
No way.
The crowd didn't even shout for it. which tells you something.
Ramos back to Keylor Navas. Just over 5 minutes to go in this first half, and it's fascinatingly poised. Real Madrid last weekend in the Bernabeu against Alaves were at 0-0 when the 44th minute came up, and they managed to get their noses in front. So Espanyol must be focused. This is collected nicely here by Llorente, inside to Lucas. Lucas with the return ball, and Ashraf can't get the cross in over Oscar Duarte, who's been very solid in this first half.
He has. That was a necessary interception, timed it well. Still leaves a threat though with 5 minutes to the break. This is when the big sides normally come alive and score. Are Espanyol concentrating?
Well, it's Isco again to take the corner, and it's headed clear only as far as Kovacic. Ashraf, Isco whips the cross back into the area, heading out as far as Gareth Bale, and there's appeal for a handball from the block by Piatti. Piatti goes down unnecessary. It's Victor Sanchez, I should have said. Isco goes down, and this time a free kick is given. Graham.
Certainly not a penalty. Bale blasts it straight at the body. Watch this. When you see Sanchez dives in, it's his arm is supporting him on the ground. What else can he do? Bale blasts it straight at him. That is ball to hand. There's no, his face isn't even looking at the ball. No deliberate action there whatsoever. It's textbook where the ball has struck hand rather than the other way around.
Actually struck both hands, didn't it, or both arms anyway, but it's as you said, there's no way you can avoid it.
And Bale's night continues. He wanted a penalty there, didn't get it, but in the move before that, as the corner's coming in, he runs straight into Sergio Ramos, the #1 threat at set plays, and kind of knocks the Real Madrid captain out of the trajectory of the run he was making. It's been an unfortunate 41 minutes and 39 seconds for Gareth Bale.
Diego Lopez doesn't seem 100% satisfied with the defensive wall. Maybe he's got it right now. It's going to be Isco. High and wide. So
the hierarchy is that Isco takes the corners, writes the theme tune, that he also takes the free kicks ahead of Bale, who stands there forlornly.
He might have fancied his chances there, Gareth Bale.
I would have thought he would have done, yeah. But Isco, just like I think he's sulking that Asensio has been given the berth on the left, I think his nose is out of joint that he wasn't taking that free kick, and he needs to have a right good word with himself.
Aaron on the ball, sensibly decides to play it back to Oscar Duarte. One of the things I noticed, Graham, about Gareth Bale is you don't see a lot of chat between him and his teammates, and surely he should be saying, look, I'm the 100 million man, let me take the free kick. Problem is, he doesn't have the Spanish.
He should be bossing it, and
oh, there's a chance. It's fallen superbly for Isco. The shot was poor, he had options.
Lucas looking down and saying, come on, that was the option. And it's good. There's a lot of players tonight who are playing for show, not for dough. A beautiful touch from Asensio, but it works. My point is that things like that open games up. Everybody else is trying to do things too individually. Zidane will not be happy with his side.
Kovacic wins the loose ball, plays it square to pick out Ashraf. This is Lucas. Isco returning the ball to Lucas Vazquez. That's a good cross. Bale brings it down. Got Asensio behind him. Kovacic nearly misread that, Nacho, and in the end Sergi Darder is able to win a throw in and a little pat on the back of Gareth Bale, which you could almost read as being slightly sarky.
Well, whatever it is, it's an indication they all know that Bale's having a stinker, an absolute stinker, and it feels as if his mind is not fully on this game, and the thing that's on his mind is, why aren't things going my way? Well, reach out and take fate by the throat, Gareth.
Throw into Espanyol. We're inside the last minute of this first half. Espanyol, as we've said, must maintain maximum concentration. It's collected here by Moreno, dispossessed by Nacho. One back by Moreno, lost again. Kovacic finding Varane, who finds Ashraf. They don't have a Danny Carvajal bombing down that right flank to search for. Lucas looks around as though to say, where's the support? Where are my options? Duarte sending it deep. Varane seemed to go into the back of Sergio Garcia. Bullied once again, is quick back onto his feet. Piatti unable to link with him. It'll be a throw to Espanyol as the referee has a look at his watch, puts the whistle to his mouth and blows for the end of the opening 45 minutes in the RCDE Stadium. 0-0 the score, and I think possibly we could say Keylor Navas and Diego Lopez have had more or less the same amount of work to do.
And they've done good work. Each of them has shown that they're alert. If you could transfer the attitude from Keylor and Diego to the remaining players outfield, we'd have a game of still more intensity. But what we're looking at is a very balanced match as we look at Bale's early opportunity to feed Isco. Lay back to Renti. He's in a pocket of space. Without being overly critical, that should have been between the three posts. Wasn't.
It's Bale chasing that one. Unable to collect it.
Showing us imprecision, Simon, which you commented on in a number of different areas of the pitch, where the only bright lights really would be Keylor, Varane and Ashraf, who absolutely stand out. Lucas at his own level. The rest of them probably need some scolding words from the French coach.
Well, I'm sure they're going to get them, and in about 15 minutes' time, we'll be back to bring you the second half of this nicely poised clash between Espanyol and Real Madrid. It's 0-0 at half-time. I'll be back in just a few minutes to bring you our unique